Dumelang ke le amohela mo ho Africa at a Glance, the program that covers stories of the week around the African continent. I'm Lesego Mukonane. Now let's take a look at the story of the week. Zambian authorities have suspended the licenses for one of the country's main private television stations and 2 radio stations, a move the opposition claimed was aimed at stifling media freedom.
Movie TV was rebuked for its unprofessional conduct after broadcasting stories before and after Zambia's closely fought August 11th presidential vote, critical of supporters of the ruling Patriotic Front Party. The run-up to the presidential poll was tense, with clashes between President Edgar Lungu's PF and opposition United Party for National Development supporters, leaving at least 3 people dead. After Lungu was re-elected, fresh protests erupted and the division in the country spilled over into the media. The Post, an influential independent newspaper, was forced to close in June over alleged non-payment of taxes, while the state-run broadcaster ZNBC was accused of blatant pro-Lungu bias. The 3 private stations closed down on Monday were considered opposition mouthpieces. UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema slammed the move, saying Zambians were left with only government-owned media sources.
It's been over a month since 37-year-old journalist Jean Bigirimana disappeared after leaving his home in Burundi's capital Bujumbura for Bugarama. There are unconfirmed reports that he was arrested there by members of the intelligence services, but his whereabouts remain unknown. For the first time, his colleagues speak out.
As the days passed without news, Jean Bigirimana's family, friends and colleagues at Ikwa newspaper began wondering if he might be dead. The journalist news outlet says he has not been seen or heard from since July 22nd. Now the news outlet honors him.
A word on this. After the 22nd of August, we have decided it is right to start a week in tribute of our colleague. So, for activities, there will be a blackout on our website, the daily site, the web TV site, and the site that puts out various news items each day.
2 dead bodies were recently retrieved from a river in Murvai, close to where the journalist is alleged to have been kidnapped. The police later announced Mr. Bigirimana was not one of them, after Ikwa had asked the authorities to help in the identification of the bodies.
We have taken a path through the foothills of Kibera and along the Mubarazi. It's somewhere else that we fell upon 2 tortured bodies. We do not know even if you are one of these 2 unidentified citizens delivered by the river. These 2 bodies have been quickly buried.
As Jean Bigirimana's whereabouts remain a mystery, his disappearance has created concern for journalists as well as freedom of the press in the continent. Bureau Report, ANN7.
Gunmen attacked a number of restaurants in the capital of Somalia late on Thursday. The attacks came not long after a car bomber prematurely detonated an explosives-laden vehicle near the Turkish embassy compound. Police said they opened fire on the car when the driver refused their orders to stop at a checkpoint near the beachside embassy. The driver detonated the bomb in the middle of the road. Soon after the blast, an unknown number of gunmen attacked nearby restaurants. According to witnesses, the first attack occurred near the Banadir Beach nightclub. Gunmen also stormed the nearby Beach View restaurant frequented by government officials. Sporadic gunfire between security forces and the gunmen continued well into the night. The identity of the gunmen remained unclear, but the Al-Shabaab extremist group has been waging an insurgency against Somalia's weak UN-backed government for years. Boko Haram leader Abu Bakr Shekau is believed to have been killed after Nigerian military airstrike on Sambisa forest. The operation was carried out near Gambaru in the northeastern state of Borno. Army spokesman Colonel Saniku Sani Kukasheka Usman says the army killed some senior Boko Haram militants, including the group's leader, in a raid on the sect's northeast heartland. Now, on Friday, government planes attacked the fighters in the village of Tai inside the Zambisa forest. The military reported on Shekau's death in the past, only to have a man purporting to be him appear later, now apparently unharmed, making video statements. There was no immediate reaction from the group. 3 civilians were killed and around 20 others wounded in a suicide attack in northern Cameroon.
A suicide bomber has claimed 3 lives and left 20 others injured when he blew himself up in northern Cameroon. The attack took place in Mora, a town in Cameroon's far north, near the Nigerian border, an area which has suffered repeatedly from attacks by Nigeria's Boko Haram Islamists.
He immediately exploded his charge, immediately got off his bike and set off his belt. We have on the spot registered 4 deaths, including the suicide bomber.
Officials say the man was riding a motorbike when he blew himself up on a bridge near the market in Mora. Schools have since been closed. Residents remain hopeful the town will return to normality soon.
It's truly horrible, but we'll deal with it. Students will go back to school soon. In any case, we'll continue to bring awareness.
Cameroon has been frequently hit by suicide attacks. A suicide bomber killed at least 11 people when he blew himself up close to a mosque in Cameroon near the Nigerian border at the end of June. Boko Haram pledged its allegiance to Islamic State last year, but the group has apparently split, with Islamic State naming Abu Musab al-Banawi 3 weeks ago as the group's leader for West Africa in a 2-page interview in its weekly magazine. But the previous figurehead, Abu Bakr Shekau, or someone claiming to be him, appears to have rejected the new role in another video published after Banawi's appointment.
Madagascan authorities say 2 young French volunteers who were found dead on an island off the northeast coast of Madagascar were likely murdered.
Dismay and anger hangs around Madagascar following the deaths of 2 young French citizens on Sunday on a beach in the tourist island of Santa Maria, northeast of the country. French and Madagascan authorities have said that the 2, a man and a woman in their early 20s, were found to have head injuries and were likely murdered. The honorary consul of France in Santa Maria says the remaining volunteers on the island are supporting each other through the ordeal.
In any case, the volunteers are a little shocked, and after 48 hours without information, they are still in shock but are keeping strong. Some are obviously less strong, so they are being supported by their peers, and the fact of being together helps them bear a pain that we all feel.
The pair had been volunteering in Setamada, a local environmental non-profit organization working to protect ocean mammals. According to authorities, this is the first time French citizens have been murdered there. In 2012, a French couple was found dead on a beach in southern Madagascar. Locals fear that this could impact on the influx of tourists who bring business to them.
I was born on Santa Maria. I've been living here for 64 years and I've never seen anything like it. A beach is a place for people to relax. I have never seen anything like it. And I keep asking myself why they did it. People here fear for us and for tourists. I live on an island, and if the tourists stop coming, we won't have anything to eat.
An investigation into the deaths is currently underway.
Accra hosted the 6th annual Chalewote Street Art Festival, an alternative art event that offers artists and artisans a chance to display their work outside of their studios.
Music, dance, poetry and much, much more. Ghana's Chalewote Street Art Festival 2016 got underway in Accra. The annual Street Arts Festival saw thousands of patrons and art lovers converge at the Jamestown in the capital.
Where I come from, it's like people call it like ghetto or a slum, and it's very hard because these kids, if people like don't put eyes on them or guide them, they ended up doing bad stuff. So for me, I think we help out a lot of kids. I know the kids that like I teach, most of them now have their own studios, they are married with kids, they have family.
The festival, organized by Accra.Alt, embraces street painting, graffiti, photography, interactive art installations, poetry, walking tours, dance, film shows, fashion parades, live music performances, workshops and more.
My exhibition is called Validate Me, which, relating to the year's theme, which is Spirit Robot, represents instances where the creative human spirit has met man-made machinery, when both of these bodies are looking for a sort of endorsement from each other.
More than 200 Ghana-based and international artists took part in this year's event.
Aside open-air street exhibitions like this, a lot of my work goes on social media platforms as a means to generate critical conversations around very touchy issues and topics about this space that we live in.
The theme of Chale Wote 2016 was Spirit Robot, and this year saw the highest turnout since its inception in 2011. Bureau Report, ANN7.
And now Africa at a glance. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we look at refugees pouring into Uganda from South Sudan. Stay tuned.